All right, guys, good morning. Ben, the Outdoors Airgunner, out here with the Gauntlet 25 cal. And what we're going to do today is test some pellets, see which one's performing the best for us. And then we're going to go ahead and kick it out to about 150 yards. We're going to shoot a group at that distance. Stay with me, guys. This is going to be awesome. You know, in my last video, I mentioned to you guys about this bipod that I've got attached down here. Pretty sweet, right? Well, I will tell y'all how I did it. Now you're going to have to stay tuned to the end to find out, because I'm going to put that little piece at the end of the video. All right, guys. So I've had my Gauntlet 22 cal for a couple years now, and all in all, it really is one of my favorite air rifles. Super consistent, super fun to shoot, very accurate, regulated. I mean, you guys know what the whole spiel is on it. And of course, very affordable. Now, I've got, bada boom, the 25 cal. This thing is sweet. You know, the shot count might not be as high as what you're getting out of the 22 cal, but you are getting a whole lot more power. And you're able to shoot targets out to farther distances, at least in theory, in my mind, because you've got a heavier pellet. You're going to buck the wind more. It's going to stay straighter for longer. And that's what I'm going to do today. First, I'm going to shoot at 72 yards here. And I'm going to try 4 or 5 different pellets that I've got. I've got some JSB pellets, I've got some H&N pellets. Some of them are hunter pellets. Some of them are more target pellets. We're just going to see how they all perform. Then, after that, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit bigger target all the way out there at 150 yards. We're going to shoot a group for you guys there so we can see actually what's it grouping like at 150. So let's get it started. Let's get the Gauntlet aired up. Let's get some pellets loaded in the mag, and let's get her going. Just one more thing I just, of course, want to add is, look at this gorgeous Hawke scope that I've got it topped with here today. Got the side focus. This is the 6-24 power scope. I like to use this one for this type of shooting because this is the first focal plane scope. And what that means is that where I'm holding over at 70 yards, as far as on my mil dots, is the same no matter where I'm at on my zoom. I could be all the way out at 6, 10, 24. I'm not going to have to guess which mil dot I'm at because the reticle comes with it when it zooms rather than the reticle staying the same. Now, that doesn't mean that all the time that this is a better option, but really for hunting, which is what I'm getting this sighted in for, because, you know, we've got a lot of ground squirrels out here. They've been chewing up things, chewing up wires, making nests in places that I don't want them. And so the other purpose for this today is I'm getting this thing sort of figured out, sighted in, to eliminate some of those ground squirrels. So anyways, what's awesome about that first focal plane as far as in a hunting perspective is that I don't have to be thinking when I'm hunting and I want to zoom in all the way to 24 power, oh, okay, how is this going to change my mil dot where I'm aiming? Because it's going to be the same mil dot as it was if I was at, like I say, 10, 6, 24, the mils stay the same. So that is what is super awesome about these first focal plane scopes. And of course, being Hawke, you know you're going to have high quality glass, super clear. The reticle's awesome. It's got a whole tree of different aim points under there. And I love this side focus here that they put on it. That makes, you know, grabbing your focus when you're zoomed all the way into that 24 power really quick and just super intuitive, easy to do. So that's it. Enough talking about the setup. Let's go ahead and get shooting. Gauntlet, 25 cal, 72 yards. Let's get her done. All right, guys. Way down there. That's my 72 yard target. I've got the Gauntlet right here in this rest because although I did custom install sweet little bipod setup here, since I'm testing pellets and I want to really get a good idea of which one's the most accurate, I want to take most of the variables out of it. And even though the bipod's really steady, when I'm on the bipod, obviously, I'm not fully supported. So, you know, I could make a mistake and pull a shot. Here, I'm a little bit more supported. It's going to take a little bit less of those mistakes out of the equation there and give me a great idea of which pellet's truly going to perform the best at range. So here we go. We're going to start off with the good old JSB 25 cals. A lot of times you just can't beat a good JSB domed pellet. These are 25.39 grains, and we got a fresh target set up out there, 72 yards. Go ahead and throw the rangefinder on it real quick so you know I'm legit. Here we go. Let's see. Yep. Actually says 74 yards. So we're right at about 75 yards. So here we go, guys. First shot with the JSBs. See where they hit. All right. There's 5 shots with the JSB at 75 yards. We'll put those away. Those are the exact King Diablos. Like I say, always a great pellet for testing your accuracy. And now we've got some brand new packages. So bear with me while I open this up. I always struggle a little bit with the tape on here because I keep my fingernails nice and short. All right, let's get started with the Hornets. All right, that was a little bit down and to the left. So I'm going to pick a new aim point, move up onto that target. Now they're kind of, I moved a little too far, so I'm going to correct again. You'll have to pardon me on that one shot that's already on there. Maybe these Hornets just aren't going to really work the greatest for us at this sort of a distance. 75 yards is pretty far, and but we'll keep trying. We'll finish out the mag and we'll see how we do. Yeah, they're not really grouping at that distance. All right, so let's check where I'm at on air. You know, I need to top it off again, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right. I think maybe I wasn't giving those Hornets a fair shot because I was kind of getting to the bottom of where I'm at on the being able to be on that regulator. So I'm going to go ahead and load up another mag of those Hornets and see if I can't tighten that group up just a little bit. 7 shots more of the Hornets. Here we go. All right. Oh, got one more. Okay, guys, so didn't do too much better. Still got plenty of air. Let's go ahead and let's give the Barracuda Hunter Extremes a try. All right, guys, the breeze is starting to pick up just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and do these 6 shots here on the 75-yard target with the Barracuda Hunter Extremes, and then we'll skip the other pellets for now so that we can go ahead and do those 160, 150-yard shots before the wind starts blowing. It starts blowing and pellets start sailing all over the place, and weather said it was going to pick up this morning at about 9 o'clock, and I can see the bushes are moving a little bit. It's probably about 8:30 right now, so I want to go ahead and make sure I get this all done for you. Here we go. All right, last shot. All right, there you have it. Now, that wasn't as good as the domed pellets, but definitely the Hunter Extremes did a little bit better than the Hornets did. So if I was going to choose a hunting pellet right now for this rifle, based on what I've tested, I would go with those Hunter Extremes. These are also a pretty awesome looking hunter pellet. I don't know if you guys have ever checked these out, but they've got a hollow point with like a cross through the middle. So in theory, when this hits something as far as hitting your game, you'd get a little bit of a spread there. Hopefully it'd mushroom out a little bit and impart some more of the energy into the game rather than having a pass through like you would with just a regular domed pellet. So anyways, let's go ahead and get that 150-yard target set up and shoot a group on that, see what we can do here before the wind starts picking up. We are back with the target set up out there at says 144 yards. That's pretty doggone far. Let's see how we can group at that distance with the Gauntlet 25 cal using the JSB 25 grain pellets, and let's get her done. All right, that was it. 7 shots. I think that was pretty epic. I'm gonna have to go down there and check that out, because not that the scope isn't clear, but at 140, 150 yards, once the air starts warming up, you get these, like this wavy sort of miraging effect going on. And I mean, I'm gonna say that looks like it's about a 2 to 3 inch group, but let's go down and check it out, guys. Come on, let's go check this out. All right, so spread out a little bit more than I thought it did, but I mean, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 shots just right here, right there in that little square. This is like a 2 inch square. And then we got a couple shots off here to the side. But I mean, 144 yards. I didn't do any practice with the thing at this distance. I mean, I think that's pretty freaking sweet, man. All right, so here it is, my little secret. If you want to get a bipod on your Gauntlet, I guess I should say a bipod that uses a swivel stud style mount. Obviously, you could figure some sort of an adapter out to attach something else, but this one I've got here uses swivel stud mount. But the thing is that this swivel stud here, it's got this angle right on underneath it. And so that does, I've tried it. It doesn't work very good for getting your bipod attached. So you've got to figure out something else. Now that's got this nice big hollow plastic piece right here, but obviously there's no swivel stud in it when you get it. So what I did, let me get this thing loosened off here, is you can just unscrew this swivel stud here. Handy little tool that I like to use for that is just any size Allen key that'll fit through the hole. You can just put it through and then spin. Works really good that way. So you take that little guy out, and then really easy, the whole little plastic forend of the stock just comes right off. Now, what I did, here, I'm going to set this down here. Oh, there we go. All right. So what I did was I got out my drill, my screwdriver, electric one anyways, attached a bit to it, and I put a little hole right there, just big enough for one of these guys to fit through. So when you're going through your drill bits, just, you know, size it up and see, you know, okay, which size drill bit do I need so that it's going to make it just big enough for the little swivel stud to fit through. Okay. And then what I happened to have laying around the shop was I had, and I don't know if you can see it, I'll take a photo, better photo, and I'll place it over the video, but right inside of here is just a piece that was actually really intended for this purpose, that I had got probably as part of a kit that came with one of my bipods or one of my attachment kits. You know, got a lot of different airgun parts and stuff laying around the shop. Now, if you don't happen to have a piece like this, I'll put in the link below for where you can get one off of Midway. They're like $9.99 or $10, something like that. $10 to be able to put a bipod on your Gauntlet is priceless, in other words. So what this is it's a metal piece. It's about that long, and on the Midway link, it's actually called something like swivel stud mount for hollow plastic forends or something like that. So I mean, it's pretty obvious what it's for. And what it does is it goes in there so that you can screw the, here, I'll take this guy off, so that you can screw the swivel stud into it, and see the swivel stud's coming through right there. So you can screw your swivel stud into that, and then that keeps it from basically breaking out of the plastic. Because if you just try to screw a normal swivel stud into there, it's just going to strip out the plastic and fall right out. So this gives it a nice big backing plate there, so that it doesn't break out of the stock. Now, of course, once you get that on, You just attach your bipod up to the swivel stud there, just like you would on any other swivel stud. Tighten her down good, and you're ready to rock. So check it out, guys. That's how you attach the bipod to your Gauntlet. Really easy, really simple, very quick little fix. One final note is that this piece that I had was actually too long to fit in between where they've got the kind of bracing, these extra plastic bracings to give this some rigidity here. So what I had to do is put it in a vise, get out the old hacksaw or metal saw, and just snip off the two ends just so it was barely wide enough to just squeeze down into there. You know, you don't want to cut off too much because then you don't have very much in there that's going to provide you the support and structural integrity for the whole thing to be kind of mounted on there. So try and, you know, measure this out, and if the one off of Midway or wherever you happen to order your little piece is too big to fit, just get out the old saw and snip off the two ends so it'll slide right down in there. I know that's not really too much of a secret. I didn't invent the product, but I did figure out how to do it, and I was obviously brave enough to go ahead and drill a hole in my Gauntlet stock and get the thing on there. So there you have it, guys. Once you get the bipod attached on there, of course, slide it back over the bottle and put back in the factory swivel stud. And you're ready to rock. You guys saw the group we got at 144 yards. I mean, that's an impressive group. I think I could have shot that with a rifle 3 or 4 times the price and not been able to do any better, because this is just such an awesome thing that Umarex has done with the Gauntlet, with the regulator. The consistency of this thing is just untouchable. So guys, that's it. Oh, look right there. We got a squirrel coming out to tease me. He knows I'm sighted for 144 yards, and he's just 10 yards over to my right there, just rubbing himself on the rock. Crazy little thing. Well, that's what we're getting ready for, guys, is all these ground squirrels. They are out here chewing up wires, making nests and stuff, just messing up the ranch. And one of these times, the Gauntlet 25 cal is going to put the hurt on them. So stay with me. That's what we're going to be doing next time. But that's it for today's video. This has been the Outdoors Airgunner. Outdoors, having a blast with my air guns. See you guys.